So we just talked about option money. So now let's talk about the next piece of the pie. What else should you have prepared for when you get accepted? When your contract is accepted and you're super excited and you're like, what next? Well, option money, we know we just talked through. Earnest money. What? Earnest money shows your skin in the game. Typically in Texas, we see around 1%. The more you put up at the title company for earnest money, it really does speak volume to the seller, right? The seller starts to say, man, this is a strong buyer. But why? Why does the seller even care? Well, it shows your strength as a buyer. It also is some motivation to them. So should you walk away outside of your terms of the contract, they get to keep that money as the seller. So you want your earnest money to speak volume. You want your contract when it lands on the table of the seller, on the kitchen table, for them to look at your offer and say, there's no question about it. This is a strong buyer and I'm interested. So that is one way. Make sure your earnest amount, the amount you're putting down at the title company, is a lofty amount, or at least 1%, which is standard in Texas, okay? So one other thing I'll mention, make sure the terms of the contract protect your earnest money best as possible. So there's a term, and there are addendums that go along with the contract that we're well familiar with. And when we write those addendums and you review those, ensure that it protects your earnest money best possible without scaring away the seller. And so just make sure to look through those terms and truly understand what it means to protect your earnest money so that you're not the one losing money. Okay, yeah, it's a big amount. 1%, 10%, it's still money, and we are in the business to make sure you don't lose any. So just make sure you get clarity around, hey, how long do I have to protect my earnest money that I'm putting up at the title company, okay? So again, just to recap this piece of the puzzle, the earnest money piece, this is the part that you write a check for, or get a cashier's check for, or money orders for, and get it to the title company. They hold on to that money. Those funds are credited back at closing, should you be within terms and not have to execute any type of outs of the contract, okay? That is earnest money in a nutshell. And you may want to even know about the third piece of money you may need.